Imagine booking a vacation rental, dreaming of rest and relaxation, but instead, you're handed a chores list with a cleaning fee tacked on after the fact. Wait, what? You were already charged hundreds of dollars, yet now you're expected to mop the floors, take out the garbage, clean the shower, and even do laundry? That's not just a little annoying, that's a total scam. But here's the kicker. After doing all those chores, you check out, and you're hit with an extra $100 cleaning fee. What? After doing everything you were told to do? This is the Airbnb experience. Airbnb was supposed to be the affordable, authentic way to travel. A platform where you could have a more personal, homier experience, not just some sterile hotel room. But now, it's starting to feel more like a scam than a dream vacation. What's worse is that they're paying for it. Their Q1 2025 income dropped by an eye-popping 40%. And their stock price? It's been going mostly sideways for months. Investors are starting to worry, and a lot of them are thinking Airbnb might be overvalued. But here's the twist. Many of us saw this coming a mile away. The big question is, how did we get here? Let's rewind a little to the rise of the shared economy in the 2010s. We've all heard of the big players in this space: Uber, Lyft, Uber Eats, DoorDash, and of course Airbnb. These were the tech companies looking to shake up traditional industries. But Airbnb didn't just shake things up, they knocked it out of the park. Instead of booking a hotel room, you were booking someone else's home. Seems like a no-brainer, right? And that's exactly what it was. It gave people the chance to rent out their homes or even a spare room, making money on the side in the process. It was simple. You didn't need to own a hotel. You just needed a place to stay, and Airbnb would make it happen. But there was more. If you were traveling, you could rent out your own home. If you had a second property, you could rent it out for a short-term stay at a premium price, and boom, you're making money without lifting a finger. Now sure, it wasn't as easy as just throwing up a listing, but Airbnb made it much easier than opening up a bed and breakfast. They provided visibility through a massive platform, a unified rating system, and a seamless booking experience. Not to mention, it was often cheaper than a hotel and offered far more flexibility, sometimes even an entire home. Airbnb was a game changer. They weren't just another tech startup. They were disrupting an entire industry. Airbnb launched in 2008, founded by Brian Chesky, Joe Gebbia, and Nathan Blechtick. By 2010, they had already passed 1 million bookings. And just over 2 years later, that number skyrocketed to 12 million. They were on fire. And here's why. The appeal was massive. You were staying in someone's home instead of a cold, impersonal hotel room. It wasn't just about the space. It was about the experience. It made travel feel more intimate, more authentic, and more affordable. The success didn't go unnoticed. Traditional hotels started sweating. Airbnb was a cheaper, more flexible option, and people were choosing it over hotels. In fact, during the 2014 Rio World Cup, Airbnb hosted over 100,000 guests. And it wasn't just the bookings that were growing. So was their funding. They raised $7 million in 2010, and by 2016, they had raised over $1 billion. It wasn't just a temporary trend. They were building something massive. But then came 2020. The pandemic hit, and the world practically stopped moving. Very few people were traveling, and those that were, well, they weren't exactly looking for crowded hotels. Everyone thought this was the end of Airbnb. It seemed like the shared economy was going to take a major hit, with travel taking a backseat. But guess what? Airbnb didn't just survive, they thrived. In fact, the pandemic was a turning point for them. As people began to shy away from hotels for safety reasons, they flocked to Airbnb instead. It made sense. A lot of travelers felt safer staying in a private home than a hotel, where social distancing could be difficult. In their 2020 IPO, Airbnb was valued at $47 billion. And by Q3 2021, they posted their first profit of $830 million on $2.2 billion in revenue. Now that's impressive. While other shared economy companies were struggling, Airbnb was still crushing it. Uber, for instance, had lost over $32 billion and still hadn't made a profit. Most other startups were either shutting down or failing to raise more money. But Airbnb, they were on top of the world. The travel giant had cracked the code. But that brings us to the present day. And here's where things get a little weird. If you look at Airbnb's revenue, it's still growing. But in 2025, the growth has slowed down significantly. In Q1 2025, their revenue grew by only 6%, and net income dropped by a staggering 41%. Bookings grew by 8%. But that's the slowest growth rate they've had in years. Investors who once poured hundreds of millions into the company are now getting nervous. Could Airbnb be overvalued? The stock price has remained flat, and some investors are even shorting the company. So what happened? How did Airbnb go from a high-flying tech startup to a company that's struggling to keep pace? Here's where things start to take shape. Over the years, guests started noticing something strange. The once simple, affordable Airbnb experience started becoming a little complicated. The cleaning fee became a point of contention. But that's not the worst part. The real problem wasn't just the cleaning fee, it's that it was often charged after you'd already stayed. And here's the kicker. Despite being charged a cleaning fee, many hosts would still leave a long list of chores for guests to complete before checking out. Guests were left scratching their heads. One guest recalled, "The last time I stayed at an Airbnb in the US, there was an entire bind full of chores that needed to be done before checkout. We had to wash the linens, run the dishwasher, clean the bathroom, mop the floor, vacuum, and put everything back the way it was. And we were there for 2 nights. After that, we said no more. We're going back to hotels. They're cheaper and way more convenient." Now, if you're paying hundreds of dollars for a place to stay, you shouldn't be expected to scrub floors or wash sheets before you leave. And it gets worse. Airbnb's prices started climbing. The average daily rate surged 20% in late 2021, driven by high demand and low supply after the pandemic. And in early 2024, the rates continued to rise in Europe and North America by 18.8% and 13.9% respectively. So now guests were paying hotel-level prices, but still doing chores? That was a hard pill to swallow. There's a major disconnect here. Hosts would argue, we're not a hotel. This is the shared economy. But guests were thinking, why am I cleaning on vacation? Airbnb was charging top-tier prices, but it wasn't offering the luxury experience that comes with those prices. Guests were paying for a home-sharing experience, but they were getting stuck with hotel-tier costs and none of the benefits. And that's where things started to break down. Guests were getting frustrated. They weren't just angry, they were fed up. Charging high prices and then handing out a list of chores? It's a recipe for disaster. And guess what? It worked. People started leaving the platform for good. Hosts became more entitled, arrogant even. The frustration was palpable. People went to social media, turning their frustration into memes and jokes. Airbnb, the place where you pay to clean. Now fast forward to today, and Airbnb's bookings are slowing. Their profits are falling, and it's clear why. But here's the twist. Something interesting has been happening outside of Airbnb. Hotels are making a huge comeback. After struggling through the pandemic, hotels are starting to recover. As Airbnb's business slows, hotels are picking up the pace. In San Francisco, hotel occupancy rates grew by as much as 70% in 2025. Hotels are showing that despite their own issues, people are starting to appreciate the basics. Clean rooms, fresh towels, daily cleaning, and no hidden cleaning fees. In response, Airbnb has started reworking the way they handle cleaning fees. Instead of sneaking them in as a surprise after booking, they've introduced a total price display. So all charges are clearly shown upfront. It's a step in the right direction. But will it be enough to win back frustrated guests? Only time will tell. Airbnb is also pivoting. They're investing heavily in R&D, over $2.1 billion in the last 12 months alone. They're focusing on offering premium experiences like Airbnb experiences and Airbnb services. Things like personalized meals by Michelin star chefs or private beach volleyball sessions with Olympians. They're trying to tap into high-margin, high-ticket experiences for the elite. But here's the problem. These experiences haven't been as successful as expected. The shared economy model can only go so far. So, what's next for Airbnb? They've clearly been working on improving, but are these new services going to be enough? Maybe, maybe not. The truth is, Airbnb needs to focus on who they're serving, the regular guest who wants a hassle-free experience. Until then, it's hard to say where they go from here. Airbnb shows us what happens when you forget the basics. They've been investing in experiences and services, trying to be the best at everything. But sometimes, all you need is a simple, seamless, relaxing experience. Charging hotel prices while treating guests like unpaid housekeepers doesn't work. If you're trying to disrupt an industry, remember, don't lose sight of what your customers actually want. Sometimes disruption makes people appreciate what they already had. But hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into Airbnb's rise and struggles, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you want more content like this covering the latest in business, tech, and everything in between, make sure to join the conversation. Until then, goodbye.